Hey everybody, I am back with part 2 of my Prince of Persia Sands of Time Let's Play. Now let's go talk to... Oh, okay, I forgot she ran away. But I knew I had to go this way. By the way, I had absolutely no idea that I was going to be playing 2 games back to back, and both of them involving Yuri Lowenthal. I honestly didn't realize that until I played, Ben 10. Even though that's one of his top 2 games, I played Prince of Persia. Then I was like, you know what? It had been 2-3 years since my first Ben 10 Let's Play, and for that being one of my first Let's Plays, it did really well for the channel. So I was like, and then I was also thinking, I don't want to wait too long to cover the rest of the game. Like, I don't want to wait, I don't want to be on YouTube for a decade and not have covered at least the main 4. So, yeah. I wasn't reminded that Yuri played the Prince until I was, pulling up the wiki for the game, and I was like, wait a minute, he was in this too?
The guest rooms, where my father, all our entourage, and I should have passed the night lay cold and silent. The sands of time had swept through, stealing life and warmth and everything it touched. And I, who unleashed the cataclysm, had been spared. Were there others like me, who yet clung to life, hiding in fear among the ruins? It did not seem so.
Okay. Alright, I had to remember how to use landscape camera. So this is where you learn how to jump on bars.
Is anyone there?
It just feels so smooth to be able to jump from pole to pole instantly, but you can't get away with that all the time. Yeah, the game will trip you up. There we go. And thankfully the game is very considerate. It teaches you all these new acrobatic moves gradually.
Had I really seen her? Or had my senses given way under the burden of horrors too great to bear, and conjured up a phantom?
I was waiting for the prince to finish talking.
I could not rest until I had found her again.
If you hear this glowing sound while exploring, that means there is a sand cloud to pick up. And as the game said earlier, if you pick up 8 of them, I believe, you'll get a new sand tank to use. So right now, I only have 4 opportunities to rewind. Like right now. Yeah, I would have made that if I didn't jump at the immediate edge. There's some ledges you can straight up jump to, other times you have to wall run towards them. Actually, hold on. I want to make sure he doesn't miss it completely. Now I gotta stop, reposition myself, and then go. And we got some water, but I don't really need it, so we can keep going. Is there anything up there? I don't hear anything, but it's always a good idea to pay attention to little crevices like this that the prince can climb on, but it could lead to hidden objects or hidden areas. Because I think there are a couple in this game. Hidden areas become a much bigger thing in the sequels, especially Warrior Within. God, I can't wait to cover Warrior Within. Okay, and getting 16 of them gives me new powers for the dagger. By the way, I don't intend on 100%ing this at all, just because I don't want to. I played a lot of Prince of Persia, but I haven't played the Sands of Time nearly enough times to say I'm an expert at the game. Okay, thankfully they actually let me, you know, absorb his soul. Because a lot of times when I try to do this, you have to make sure you're going for it when nobody else is attacking. Otherwise, somebody will attack you and will disrupt it. Okay, right now everything's going pretty simple. Oh, I got 2 of them down. Unfortunately, you can only absorb one at a time. So what I did there was just... I absorbed one guy, I staggered the one who was still standing just so I have time to take out the second guy. There we go. That was much better now that I remembered. Oh, we're almost to another save point. I think I want to cut off right until we get to Farah. Alright, let me look around. God, I love landscape camera. Okay. So I already have a pretty good idea of where we're supposed to go. Oh, nope. What the heck? Okay, that was weird. I was trying to press the X button, it wouldn't let me. I'm supposed to be able to do this. There we go. Oh, I gotta remember. In the first one, you have to hold down the R1 button when on a pole just to swing. Otherwise, you just hang there.
Whoa.
Whew. Man, you gotta be careful with those camera angle changes. Jesus. I almost slipped right off. Alright, got more pole swinging. Oh, now we're gonna be jumping between some columns. More poles. More back ejects. And we're gonna be fighting some females. Oh! Looks like a new attack. If that's the new way to absorb souls, then that'll be awesome. Well, not souls. It's sands I'm collecting, not souls. I don't know why I'm saying souls.
I'll start the story from here next time.
It's a good thing the prince always has these massive flashbacks in areas where enemies don't bother to attack him.
Came these visions that assaulted me thus like fever dreams. Each time I awoke feeling drained and beaten. And each time, what I had seen came to pass. As if the sands of time were giving me a glimpse into my own future.
By the way, you have to basically not rely on it, but using landscape camera is essential in this game because the game does not let you look up and down most of the time. It only lets you look left and right, and then if you try to look up and down, the game just zooms in and out. And sometimes you'll have sections like these where you get to go up and down, but most of the time that's not the case. Yeah, let me see. I don't want to fall too far down. I think I just found a secret area. Yup, I did.
What the? Hello?
Sweet. Get to show this off.
Is anyone there?
If I remember right,
I'm not in a Zard anymore.
if you find enough of these, you could increase your maximum health.
What just happened? Strange.
Yup.
Wonderful.
Okay. Yeet. Oh, and by the way, one thing you should get used to when you're doing like high jumps, just hit the X button as soon as you land to perform a dodge roll. It will keep you moving, and it will make sure that you don't like get killed by fall damage. Don't mind me, I'm just exploring. Okay. Like, I'm not going my way to find all these health upgrades. If I find them, I find them.
Hello?
Ah, there she is.
Give me the dagger.
If you're going to ask me about the dagger, why did you spend so much time running away from me?
I am Farah, the daughter of the Maharaja from whom you stole it. This is your doing,
I saw my father turn to sand.
and we will share his fate if you do not give me the dagger to undo what you have done.
Your traitorous vizier used the same words. From now on, I trust no one but myself. Run!
Oh, great, the Beatles!
Go back to the reception hall. Wait for me there. Go!
Why would you start me in such a weird camera angle? But yeah, I'm just gonna use slow motion. Thankfully, you don't have to absorb the sands from these guys. I was trying to do another slow, but I ended up rewinding time slightly. But that's okay.
Now I remembered her. Since we left India, she had been there. In the desert, I had felt her dark eyes upon me.
Jesus Christ.
Now, here she was again. She and I, the only two survivors. Did I say two? Excuse me. We were three.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now it's up to me to figure out what to do next. I just want to make sure there's nothing over here. Whew. Thank God the game didn't screw me over again.
The hourglass. What? I did not understand the meaning of what I had just seen, but I knew, with a certainty I could not explain, that those winged creatures had a master. The man who had tricked me into opening the hourglass now had his prize, and for some unknown purpose coveted the dagger as well, would stop at nothing to possess it. Well, I would give him what he sought. I would plunge it into his foul and treacherous heart.
Sorry, I was just thinking about the escalation we get into with these games. Not in just terms of like the acrobatic moves and the combat, but also just the level design. Because the Sands of Time here is a very linear kind of game. There is a hub world, like you are constantly going back to the it's not the throne room. You're constantly going back to that reception hall in this game. That's a common area in this game. And it will change throughout the game, but the game is linear in terms of you are constantly going to different locations across this one castle. Nope. I made the mistake of running from here, not from the ledge. There we go. Alright. Is there anything up here? I hear something. Ah. Whew. Thankfully there was a ledge there to grab. That was weird. Well, I got it. Okay. I knew I could make it. Hold on, I might have to go back. I have to use the columns. Wait, I could have got here without the columns? Oh, right, ledges. I'm like, how am I supposed to go? Where was to go now? Oh my god. I hope that's not going to play throughout the entire thing. That's going to be ridiculous. I don't know what's making that noise. I don't even want to think about what that sounds like right now. Let's just keep going. Like I said, you gotta watch your footing when you're fighting. Thankfully, these enemies are sometimes super aggressive, sometimes not. Alright. Speaking of enemies, Ah, crap. Here we go again. This will be more simple if I have less enemies to deal with. I like using power tanks to slow down the bigger enemies because they have way more defenses and take a lot more hits. So it's better to just slow down time and get as many free hits as you can. But these smaller fries, no. Unless there's a ton of them overwhelming you, I recommend just saving your power tanks. These guys are perfectly fine just to outmaneuver with side rolls and flips over their heads. And remember, more often than not, like an air double slash will take them down instantly and set them up perfectly for a retrieve. And they were all attacking at once. But I can rewind, get myself out of there. Yeah! No, you don't. And here's the thing, you might think that, you know, rewinding time is a cheat. But remember, you have to constantly defeat enemies just to get your time powers back. And we've already established they can interrupt you if you're just going around willy-nilly. You have to be strategic about your attacking. Okay. Alright, let me look around here and grab some sand tanks. And I might be ending the part here. Just because this is a good stopping point. We've already met Farah. We figured out what her role... Well, not her role, but who she is and why she's so invested in getting the dagger. Or at least partially why. Okay. I just want to make sure there's nothing else around here for me to grab on the ground floor at least. Let's go ahead and save. And get a tease of what we're going to see next. Ah, this is the first big puzzle of the game. And when the traps start coming in, okay. I already know what we have to look forward to. There were 3 big aspects of Prince of Persia, I believe. Parkour, combat, and
Done.
Puzzles.
I'll start the story from here next time.
We've already gotten a good look at the combat and the traversal aspects. But next week we're going to get into more of the puzzles. As always, I appreciate your love and support. Let me know how you feel about this game. Let me know if you guys already pre-ordered Lego Batman. I've heard a lot of problems with that game. Not in terms of the game itself, but, you know, the fact that you need frame gen and DLSS just to get 60 frames per second. That is ridiculous to me. Even a guy who's only recently started getting into PC gaming, even I am well aware of the fact that you shouldn't need both of those things just to get 60 frames per second. 60 should be the standard, and then you would use those other 2 systems to get even more frames if I remember correctly. But that's something we can talk about when we get back to Arkham Knight. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.
Shall I go on?
Nah.